Hello students, today we will start a new chapter. This chapter is named as S block elements. This lecture is presented by me, Vanit Ghatak, your chemistry teacher. So, let's begin. As you all can see from the heading itself, in the S block elements, we're gonna start the alkali metals today. Okay, so let's start. In this slide, you're gonna see that the S block elements contains two groups, that is group number 1 and group number 2. Okay, so as you know, that is group number 1 is being called as alkali metals and group number 2 is being called as alkaline earth metals. Okay, you can see this is the group number 1 and this is group number 2. Okay, so alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. Okay, so here in the group number 1 we can see the elements itself, that is hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Okay, here in the case of group number 2, that is an alkaline earth metal, in this group the elements are namely beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. This francium and radium, both these elements, this is the 7th period element, are mainly radioactive. Okay, so we should take some precaution to deal with these elements as well. Okay, so in the case of S block elements, there are two groups, that is group number 1 and group number 2. Group number 1 is being called as alkali metal and group number 2 is being called as alkaline earth metal. Before we start the S block element, we should know why it is being called as S block element, because all of these elements, there are those elements whose last electron in the S subshell. As you know from the atomic structure itself, in the subshell there are mainly 4 types of subshell, that is S, P, D and F, and due to this 4 subshell we have 4 blocks itself: S block, P block, D block and F block. So those elements having their last electron in the S subshell is being called as S block elements, and those elements who having the last electron in the P subshell is being called as P block. Similarly D and F block as well. Okay, in our class 11th chemistry syllabus we have S block and the part of P block in our syllabus. Okay, so in today's class we're going to discuss briefly about S block element, mainly the alkali metals. Okay, as you know, the S block element is being divided into 2 parts, that is the alkali metals, that is group number 1, and group number 2, that is the alkaline earth metal. Okay, in today's class we're going to discuss about the alkali metal, that is the group number 1. So let's see the physical overview of alkali metals. So alkali metals, they are found in the group number 1 and in the periodic table. It is being also known as 1A. Okay, so it is being also called as active metals or active elements, are very reactive metals and they do not occur freely in the nature. Okay, so they remember, as alkali metals are highly reactive, so they do not occur freely in the nature, and alkali metals are softer than the most other metals. Okay, so you can see that from your regular and daily basis. You can see where in the case of NaCl or any other alkali metals like sodium, lithium and other alkali metals are pretty softer than the other metals like iron, copper and nickel. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Here in this slide we're going to talk about the physical properties of alkali metals. As you know, any element, mainly any chemical, having 2 properties like physical property and chemical property. In the physical property itself we're going to talk about the physical overview and the outer characteristics of the element itself. Okay, so in this class we're going to discuss about the physical characteristics and physical overview of the alkali metals. Okay, in the next class we're going to talk about the chemical reactions, that is the chemical properties of alkali metals. Okay, so let's begin with the physical properties. So physical properties of alkali metals, we can call the alkali metals as the soft and shiny metals. Okay, they are all soft, shiny, malleable, ductile, good conductor of heat and electricity. They react vigorously with water and they have one electron in their highest energy level. Okay, in both of the cases, when I am talk about the word, these all metals have been named as a S block element because in their last valence shell or last shell or valence shell, the valence shell is S. Mainly the electronic configuration of this S block elements is NS1. Okay, for the hydrogen that is 1s1, for lithium that is 2s1, for sodium 3s1, and that goes on. And so the last shell valence electron configuration of the S block element is mainly NS1. So they are having one electron extra, okay, in the valence shell. Okay, so they will like to donate this electron so that they will get a noble gas configuration. So by donating its electron, this one electron to getting the noble gas configuration, this S block element, that is the alkali metals, will get unipositive ion. That is, they will behave as a unipositive cation. Okay, so similarly, that is why the physical properties will behave as so, because of they are having a electropositive character in it. Okay, and therefore they are ready to lose, which I am saying that they are ready to lose that one electron in the ionic bonding and with other elements. So by losing that electron they will gain the noble gas configuration, and by losing the electron they will form a ionic compound with the non-metals. Okay, and that is why the most of the alkali metals generally form a ionic complex rather than covalent complex. This group consists of the lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. I have also been told that this francium is a radioactive element. Okay, so we have to take a good amount of precaution before we deal with that. Okay, and in the case of lithium, sodium and potassium, mainly sodium and potassium, they are highly reactive metals. When they react with water, with cold water, they do a very much exothermic reaction, and this can lead to an explosion as well. Okay, but in the case of rubidium and cesium, they are the energy revolved around this reaction is pretty less than what is in the case of sodium and potassium. Okay, so the most active metal of this group is mainly sodium and potassium itself. Okay, so here we should talk about the melting point and boiling point of these alkali metals. So before we start the discussion about melting points and boiling points of these alkali metals, we need to know certain things at first. So melting point and boiling point depend on melting point and boiling point. They both depend on the stability. They both depend on the stability of the metals itself, or stability of any compound or any element itself. Okay. In the case of metals, please remember, higher the compactness, greater will be the stability. In the case of metals, higher the compactness, greater will be the stability. Greater will be the stability. So please take a note on that, because I am writing on the screen itself. So when I remove this screen, it will all gone. So please take a note on that. So melting point and boiling point, they are directly proportional to stability, and metals, in the case of metals, metal stability can be denoted as the higher the compactness, greater will be the stability for the metals. Okay, so what is the meaning of compactness? Means lesser the size, higher will be the stability. Okay, so in the case of metals, lesser the size, higher will be the stability. Means lesser the size, higher will be the compactness, and higher will be the stability. Lesser the size, higher will be the stability. That means if the size is lesser, then the stability is higher. If the stability is higher, then we need more amount of energy to break the molecular structure of it, to make the molecule liquid or gaseous. Okay, so to melt it or to boil it, we need more amount of energy. Okay, so the bond breaking energy will be higher. If the bond breaking energy is higher, then we need more amount of thermal energy. more amount of thermal energy, that is we need more amount of heat. So if the more amount of heat is required, then the boiling point and melting point will also increase. The boiling point and melting point will also increase. Okay, so lesser the size, higher the stability. Higher the stability means higher amount of bond breaking energy will required. So we need higher the amount of bond making energy means we need higher amount of heat to be supplied on. So higher amount of heat means higher amount of boiling point and melting point. Okay, so that is why if lesser the size, higher amount, the higher will be the boiling point and melting point. Okay, in the case of, so that theory can also be proven from this fact, that from this data itself, that when you go from the lithium to cesium, the melting point and boiling point decreases. In the case of lithium, the melting point is 181 degrees Celsius. In the case of cesium, that is 28. Similarly, in the case of lithium, the boiling point is 1342, but in the case of cesium, that is only 669. So while going down the group, that is in size increases. If the size increases, boiling point and melting point decreases. Okay, so I hope you have understood this concept, the proportionality concept, and the relationship between the stability and the boiling point and melting point. In the case of metals, the stability is proportional to the compactness, that is the size. Okay, so lesser the size, higher will be the compactness, higher will be the stability. Okay, so please remember this thing as well. Okay, so in this class I have discussed the S block elements. We have started discussing the S block elements. Mainly we know the S block elements are combined of two parts, that is group number 1 and group number 2, that is alkali metal and alkaline earth metal. In this class I have discussed the alkali metals, mainly the introduction and the physical properties of alkali metal, that is group number 1. In the next class we're gonna discuss the chemical properties of alkali metals. So that's it for all. That's it for today. I hope you have understood this part very well. If you have any kind of doubt, please ask me in the comment section below. Okay, so thank you very much. Bye.